Welcome to Detachment Circle, where we dive deeper into mindfulness, detachment, and spiritual wisdom to help you live with clarity and peace. My name is Siddharth Das, your guide in this journey to self realization. Today, we are not here to make you feel uncomfortable. We are here to shake your soul awake. This episode is about detachment. The most misunderstood, most feared, and yet most liberating path to peace. If you ever felt trapped in your own emotions, chained to people who drain you, or suffocating by the idea of letting go, this episode is for you. Detachment is not running away. It is not about getting cold or become emotionally numb. It is not about giving up. Detachment is freedom. Actually, the truest form of freedom. Freedom from obsession, from pain, from toxic loops that keeps you stuck. Let's break it down. So brace yourself. Today's episode is going to be an eye opener. It is going to shake your truth. And detachment is one of my favorite topics to talk about. I can talk all day, all night on it. I teach detachment. I live, I breathe detachment. So let's start today's episode. Here is the first hard truth. You are not afraid of losing people. You are afraid of losing your attachment to them. Detachment is not about being indifferent. It is about being awake. It is about realizing that your happiness is not someone else's responsibility. Here is what most people get it wrong. Detachment is not about not loving. It is about loving without ownership. You don't detach because you're tired of loving. You detach because you are tired of suffering. And here is a deeper truth. You don't lose people by detaching. You lose the illusion about them. You lose the idea that they owe you your happiness. You lose the fantasy that their presence is going to fix your emptiness, the void within you. And the real pain is not about losing them. It is about losing the version of you which was dependent on them for happiness, to feel complete, to feel whole. With detachment, you lose that version of yourself. So, here is a question for you to reflect upon. What are you really afraid of losing? Love or your illusion of control? Sit with it, write about it, and we move on to our next segment. So, what is detachment? Detachment is simply the absence of attachment. And what is attachment? Attachment is when you make a person, an idea, an illusion a part of your identity. You feel that that person has completed you. You were empty before, and somebody came into your life and you got attached with them. They completed you. With attachment, there comes insecurity and fear. You fear that what if you lose them? A part of you will be lost because they made you complete and you will not know who you are anymore. Detachment is all about realizing that you are complete. You are whole already. You are a complete soul. And if a person comes to your life, they add on top of your completeness, your wholeness. And if tomorrow they leave, they'll just take away the added part. you will still be you, whole and complete. And that's exactly what detachment is. Realizing your true self, realizing that you are complete. So ask yourself, who has made you feel complete? And what was that emptiness, that hollowness within you before you met them? And what are you afraid of losing? Them or yourself? Let's move on to our next segment, why we struggle to let go. uh, the addiction to the drama. You are not addicted to people, you are addicted to the emotional high they give you. Drama feels like love because it is intense, but intensity is not intimacy. It is a trauma response. You are not afraid of being alone. You are afraid of losing the story that you have built around that person. You tell yourself, I can't let go because we are meant to be. No, you can't let go because you are addicted to this emotional chaos. You think you are stuck because you love too much. No, my friend. You are stuck because you fear your own emptiness. The drama keeps you distracted from facing yourself. Let me say it once again, little louder. The drama keeps you stuck because it makes you feel important. When you are in chaos, you don't have to deal with your own insecurities, fear, and unworthiness. So ask yourself, are you attached to that person or the drama they bring into your life? Because without them, the life will be bored. Peace feels like boredom when you start detaching because your nervous system is addicted to this drama, this emotional high. And that is the reason it is difficult to let go. Let's move on to our next segment, the truth about emotional attachment. Attachment is not love, attachment is fear wrapped in romance. You don't miss the person, you miss the version of yourself that felt needed. You're not mourning the loss of love, you're mourning the loss of identity. The real fear is not about losing them. It is losing who you are when you are with them. Attachment makes you believe that your happiness is tied to their presence. But let me break it to you. If your peace depends on somebody else, then it is not peace, it is dependency. Detachment doesn't mean that you don't care. It means you don't cling. It is the difference between holding with love and clutching with fear. There is detachment. Here is something for you to reflect upon. Is your love real, or it is just a craving to feel valued? In the next segment, let's try to understand detachment from a spiritual lens. Because detachment is not new. It is quite a trendy word right now, but the wisdom goes centuries back in Bhagavad Gita, in Upanishads. And let's try to understand those. Detachment is not about being a monk in the cave, it is about being present in this life, but not owned by it. You may own fancy things, but don't let those things own you. Own it with a sense of detachment. In Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna says to Arjuna to act with full effort but zero attachment to the results. This means give your best, love fiercely, but don't let the outcome become your identity. And in Advaita Vedanta, it is all about you are not the doer, you're the witness. When you're not doing things, it is being done through you, there is a sense of detachment from the result. When you stop identifying with your story, you stop suffering by it. The world doesn't owe you the peace. You owe it to yourself. Detachment is the way forward. Detachment is the end of suffering. Detachment is a milestone in your journey to self realization. If you are bound by others, if you are bound by the external chains of the world, then you cannot know yourself. You will believe the idea of yourself which the world has fed to you, which you believe you are. With detachment, you start losing this idea of self. You break all these false identity which the world has created, which your mind has created, and you realize your true potential, your true self. With detachment, you can be one with the Paramatma, with the Source. Let's try to understand how to practice detachment in our next segment. You cannot practice detachment by cutting off people, but you can practice detachment by cutting off your need to control them. Detachment is not only about distancing yourself from people, that you do, but the true detachment is also about cutting them off emotionally. It is about freeing yourself from the need of manipulate outcomes or results. You love them, but don't own their choices. You care about them, but don't collapse when they disappoint you. Your peace is not a bargaining chip. Here's the rule: you cannot lose what you have never owned. How beautiful, how powerful it is. You can't lose what you have never owned. So, why are you holding on to people as if they are your possessions? Detachment is realizing that love without freedom is just a beautiful cage. Here's an exercise for you. Take a piece of paper and write down the name of someone you are struggling to let go. Underneath, write what you fear losing if they are gone. And then ask yourself, am I afraid of losing them? Or am I afraid of losing my identity that is tied to them? Do this exercise to practice detachment. It's time for our Q&A from Instagram. In case you are not following me already, make sure that you follow me and join the community as I'm only taking questions from there. I've tried to address some of the questions during the podcast, during the segments, but here are a few questions which we are going to address now. So the first question is, can we really detach from a twin flame partner? Now I get asked this question a lot. Whether it is your twin flame partner or a karmic partner or a lover or your soulmate, or you are in a beautiful relationship or you are married to that person, you still can detach. Detachment is only going to make that relationship even better. Okay, so regardless of who that person is, even your biological parents or family, you can still detach from them. Okay, that doesn't mean that you're not going to love them, but I think you will love them with more freedom without any expectations. So, yes, detachment doesn't mean that cutting the bond, it means breaking the obsession. Love them, but don't lose yourself in the connection. Next question is, does every spiritual awakening start with detachment? That's a beautiful question. Yes. Awakening will strip away your illusions. Detachment is not a choice, it's a consequences of seeing the truth. So, the more truth you will see, the more you will realize yourself, more detached you will feel. So, it is an essential step in your spiritual awakening. Yes. Next question is, can I be detached and still expect love from my partner? Yes. Expect love, but not ownership. That's a great question. Detachment doesn't mean giving up on healthy boundaries. Okay? It means letting go of the illusion that somebody else completes you. The next question is blocking communication the same as detachment? No. Blocking is an action. Detachment is an inner state. You can block them, you can cut them off from your life, but until you solve the emotions which are connected to them, until you cut those cords, you are still pretty much attached. Your emotions keeps you attached with that person, not the physical presence. You may still live with a person but still can be detached emotionally. And you can go live in the Himalayas, but if you are still emotionally attached, then you can never truly be detached. If you hate somebody, hate is a very thick cord which will keep you attached with them. If you have anger towards them, if you have love towards them, all these emotions will keep you attached with them. So, the best way of detachment is cutting off those emotional cords. True detachment is the freedom within, not just physically. But yes, practically, in case you feel like blocking them, it is a good way of cutting some of the cords. And after that, work on your emotions. If you need my help, you know where to find me. I specialize in exactly that. The next question is, why does detachment feel so difficult? Because you're not just letting go of them, you are letting go of the identity which you have built around them. So, detachment is not about letting them go, it is all about letting that version of you which was dependent on them. So, in a way, it is like a death of your identity, death of your ego, death of those false illusions that you have. And a lot of times, because it was so familiar to you, you stay. You cannot break those identity because of the familiarity. With detachment, you go into unknown. You wander around in the uncharted waters. There is uncertainty. You don't know who you are because you have never felt complete all by yourself. So it is a difficult process. But if you work with me, I'll make this process easy for you. I have the right ways of helping you break those identities, break those loops, break those karmic bonds. In my 12-week detachment program, I teach exactly that. I work with people on one basis and I give it my all. And these women, these men, they are so powerful. I admire them so much because they are courageous. They have the courage to kill their own identity. And I love them for it. If you are interested in working with me, DM me on Instagram and I'll be happy to help you out. DM me the word detach. As of now, I only work with handful of people and I put in a lot of effort with them. But since I've been getting a lot of people who would want to work with me, I am thinking of launching group programs where I can teach the path of detachment. If you feel that I should be launching that, let me know. Let me know in the comments here. And probably I will launch that program pretty soon. It won't be a course, it would be a live session because this journey will require a lot of effort. Because, like I said, you are going to let go of your ego and that identity. So I'll make this process easy for you. That would be all. I think that would be all the questions I'll be taking in today's episode. If you have more questions related to detachment, you know where to find me. DM me on Instagram and make sure that you are joining my community, the Detachment Circle. Detachment is not about not loving. It is about loving without losing yourself. It is about holding with open hands, not clenching with fear. If today's episode hit you hard, good. It means it's time to wake up. You deserve peace, not obsession. You deserve freedom, not control. Follow this podcast. Share it with somebody who needs to hear this. And comment below your thoughts on detachment. This is Detachment Circle. My name is Siddharth Das, your guide in this journey to self realization. Until next time, stay aware, stay free, and stay true to yourself. This is the journey to yourself. Goodbye.